Welcome to our prayer and reflection. Here we will reflect upon a few of the inner dynamics of our Mercy Way in the context of our present time. Take a moment for personal thought as well as communal discussion, and end with a closing prayer and thought to accompany you as you perform your duties as stewards. Contributing to the work of higher education is a privilege and a responsibility. Each board member and person in a leadership position, accomplished in her or his own right, knows the demands of success and what it takes to sustain and develop professional institutions. Yet we are humble enough to know that no one learns to fly without the help of another, and that learning more about our call, our particular task, even about the depths of life itself, is a gift, and it's what makes life real, and it continues all along the journey. Today, you steward the work of higher education that is informed and shaped by the charism of mercy during very challenging days. These challenges affect each of us personally and collectively. As a people committed to mercy, justice, and goodness, we assert that education requires the ongoing development of knowledge and virtue, never fully accomplished, but always sought. During these days, the world is experiencing a crash course on several topics. In the U.S., we are immersed in deep issues that invite us, no, they demand of us, that we as a nation take stock of ourselves and as communities of higher education. Presently, many issues are converging, overlapping, intersecting. They always have, but we didn't always realize it. All actions have consequences, which in turn have further consequences. Catherine Macaulay saw that poverty could not be solved if education was not part of the equation. Issues we face include racism, economic disparity, need for criminal justice reform, healthcare, education and housing, the health of the environment, fair taxation, allocation of revenues, social responsibility, long-term planning, adequate food for many in a land of plenty. Even the root narrative or myth of who we are needs to be reset. Research and discourse are vitally necessary, but can disintegrate into something else very quickly. In the midst of challenge, we see many young leaders emerging, giving voice to their desire for a future that is healthy, dynamic, and inclusive. This is their time, and they will remember these days. Their minds and hearts are being impressed and marked with the rhetoric and actions of these days. This is hope that is parched and thirsty for learning and thinking and decision-making and action. The future dangles. Mercy Constitution's Article 5 states that we, including all of us involved in the ministries of mercy and those that we serve, endeavor to model mercy and justice and to promote systemic change according to these ideals. However, we as Mercy acknowledge our complicity in several forms of systemic evil that includes racism, environmental destruction, and other forms of violence. Going forward requires some level of transformation. We examine our thoughts and actions, our histories, our practices, now more robustly, because this time challenges us to enter a new period. Education with a purpose is hard work. If I do not get it, I cannot teach it. If we do not get it, we cannot ingrain it in our structures. Christ the teacher manifested for others the spirit of truth and compassion in his time, and he continues to inspire a radical call for truth and justice and mercy. When we are present to one another, meaning struggles and works to be revealed. When Jesus was present to his community, truth and justice and mercy were dynamically exercised. Our institutional leaders and colleagues at all levels are being deeply present to their campus communities in new ways in order to provide higher education, a critical and necessary service to society. Their work has not been without personal cost and sacrifice. The mission is lived, and the bonds of the covenant are strong. In the midst, we must highlight and raise up, for example, people and segments of our work where things are moving forward with excellence and sensitivity. On each campus, scores and scores of people have accomplished more than ever imagined in order to keep things moving safely and professionally, and within the spirit and values of mercy. Ex Corde Ecclesiae, an apostolic constitution on Catholic higher education, reminds us to lean on the rich inspiration of the Christian tradition and the treasury of human knowledge. Within the domains of our hearts, personally and collectively, we each search for meaning and hope and relief from suffering. Without a sense of meaning that carries within it a capacity to sit with suffering that is inevitable, as well as to challenge the sources of suffering, we are bereft. Without the tools to make meaning, bare information gets dry and brittle. It can fail to develop into knowledge and remains empty of wisdom. How can we deepen the way that we listen and remember to listen first? How do those of privilege walk the hard road of examination and go forward with correction and resolve? What do I need to hear, see, consider, and learn? What do we need to hear, see, consider, and learn as stewards and leaders in the context of mercy and Catholic and our particular mission work of education? In light of 2020 events and circumstances, have your understandings of our mission, particularly as a steward or leader, shifted or deepened or changed in any way?